Hello and welcome to I Love Mondays. My name's Angela Ambrosia and I'm a love and relationship coach. And I Love Mondays is about reprogramming our bodies and our hearts and our souls to love every week. So we can start the week by grounding a certain energy in the body. And this week we're looking at surrender in love. So there's probably 1,000 love songs you can think about when we think about surrender in love. I'm thinking about a famous Elvis Presley love song. And when we're looking at surrender, when we actually even consider the concept of surrender, there's not a lot of places in our culture, in modern culture, where we can actually experience that except in a love relationship. Perhaps as a parent as well, we can surrender parts of ourselves because when we're caring for a child, we give away certain thoughts about ourselves. So there's a form of surrendering there. And when we surrender, it's a spiritual experience as well. It's a place where we begin to see what is it that we're actually being in love versus attempting to give love, attempting to think that we're something or pretend that we're fulfilling a role for the person or for someone else. Surrender is one of those opportunities in love where you truly are experiencing the vulnerability of the self and also the possibility of rejection, the possibility that the other person may not be able to be there for you. So surrender brings up a lot of fear in relationships, but it's something that we all really deeply, spiritually, beyond our physical bodies, wish to experience, so we can actually get rid of this persona, we can get rid of the face or the mask of what we're presenting in a relationship and become love itself. So surrender in love is actually a really incredible way, even if it's full of fear, to come into the true self, to come into the self where there is no sense of separation from you, from the moment, and from that greater feeling of love. So what is that greater feeling of love? Why do we all want it? What is it that we're looking for? Why are there so many love songs about it? And surrender is a good place to start. If you think about what you really want, to have that special someone to share with. Of course, we may have some real-world goals. We might want to create a family. We might want to have a beautiful, happy home environment. And then if you want to look at intimacy, what are you actually really wanting to create with another person? It's a sense that there's a connection that goes beyond any material need. So that place of love can almost overcome the real world physical obstacles that every one of us face. So that's a pretty high expectation for love in an intimate one-on-one relationship. We want that relationship to be able to overcome real world obstacles. And in fact, it's not necessary that it does that. The love that we are creating today in the new relationships is really about helping us understand and overcome the obstacles to knowing and loving ourselves. So in the body connection and the energy transfer we're going to do today, we're going to look at how surrender can come into the body as a way for you to experience more of the self. And if you're going to go into a relationship with anyone and you wish to get that deeper place to surrender with them or to give to them or to be with them or experience them, then you need to start with the self, with experiencing where that could be in your body. And surrender for a lot of people in the body is a really difficult place because you may have had experiences in the body where it wasn't safe, where it was also a place that you felt violated. You maybe felt no one was listening or you weren't seen. So this meditation connection body exercise is to also allow you to begin to surrender to that. So let's begin with focusing on the heart and thinking about how you also like to feel those different places in the heart chakra. So the heart is where we nurture others. And whenever we don't nurture ourselves, you won't be able to completely surrender or give to another person, because that lack of nurturing inside of you will be constantly seeking energy from them or feeling like you're not getting energy from them. So self-nurturing is a really important place to surrender to. So with the hands on the heart, what you begin to do is just remind yourself that this is home, and then also allow the breath to come into that part of the body, and allow the hands to come into self-nurturing. So the hands are a way of coming into immediate self-nurturing and also self-care. So take some nice easy breaths, gently closing the eyes. You can even just soften the gaze. And gently out of those slightly open eyes, see how the hands are touching your heart. So you can bring your gaze internally. It's almost a way of directing your focus, a soft focus, into your softness. So even that soft focus of the eyes begins to allow you to softly focus on yourself. Breathing into the heart. Seeing where you need to bring more breath or more space into the heart chakra, the front of the chest, and filling up even the back of the chest, or the back body that supports the chest, with the breath. So now if you have a chair behind you, you can use the back of the chair to even touch the back part of the body. And if you don't have a chair, just imagine that there's two imaginary hands coming in to support the back body behind the chest. Almost as if they're allowing your chest to fall back into those hands. If you have the chair there, you can even begin to have some gentle touch or rolling. Make it gentle so you still feel your energy, and just feel that support for the back chest. And play with now opening the front part of the chest up to the sky. So it's almost like you're lifting the chest up and it's supported by the sky. As if you're getting a sun bake on the heart chakra itself. And with the breath, you're opening up and expanding the heart energy underneath the hands. So it's almost like you're opening up to the wings of the heart. So the lungs are both sides of the heart. And with the breath, you're expanding into the wings of those lungs on each side of the heart. And in the back of the heart, the back body supporting the chest, you can imagine that there are two hands supporting the back of you, and lifting and supporting into those hands that are holding the front chest. So those hands supporting the back of you are also lifting you up into the sky, feeling the energy of the sun shining on your chest. So here, as you breathe into the heart, just see if there's anywhere that you need to have more nurturing for yourself, more self-care. And now, as you're feeling that heart supported, visualize a golden light coming into the crown of the head, the top of the head, and coming right down into the heart like that golden sun. The rays of that golden sun dripping into the head and pouring right into the heart, So the heart now feels full and sustained from the inside, and able to expand that golden light into all of the heart and chest area. And if you like, you can actually begin to gently remove the hands from the heart, still keeping that connection with the hands to the heart area. And just feel that expansion of the golden energy outside the physical body. So your hands can just take a shape of the golden energy outside the heart, feeling that heart opening to its own golden light that's expanding into your energy body, or the area surrounding your body known as the aura or the energy bubble. And this time, with the hands, we're going to gently and slowly, keeping that sense of the connection of the heart energy in the hands, take the hands to the lower belly. So bringing the hands in gentle contact with the soft belly tissue, we're going to explore again that golden light coming into the lower belly. And with the breath, as you breathe into the lower belly, allow the golden light to expand into the lower belly so it can soften into the hands, and the hands can soften into the belly. With the breath and the golden light, allow that belly to soften. Allow the breath to let your belly feel itself. Surrender is always about you allowing yourself to feel more of your body and what you feel in your body. So with your breath, begin to fill the lower belly softly with the breath. And allow the hands to feel that support for the belly. So the hands become a way of coming into yourself and nurturing. And so the belly can begin to surrender into you, into yourself. The area below the belly button is a very strong area where you may have fears and also a lot of stories about why it's not safe or why you're not good enough. And possibly 1,000 other stories that prevent you from really surrendering to who you are. So as you breathe into the belly, just allow yourself to see whatever comes up and surrender into that. The more and more you breathe and relax into the lower belly, the more you can actually begin to allow your body to surrender to what is there, and allow your body to show you where you need to bring more love, more light, more wisdom, and also more self-care. So gently again, this time we're going to remove the hands very slowly from the lower belly and bring them to the upper belly. So just below the breast line, above the belly button. Take your hands there now to support the upper belly, underneath the ribs. So this area here is where you may have a lot of stories again, or judgments about why it's not good to surrender, or fears about judgments that you've made that are stopping you from making a change or dropping deeper into yourself. Those stories that we have can become very powerful and seem very strong and repetitive. That's what we call the monkey mind in meditation. It's a whole bundle of stories, all coming from our nervous system that remembers things that didn't work and that didn't feel good. So as your hands are on the belly here, see if your hands can just give that sense of your body that everything is okay. How can you communicate that with your hands on the upper belly now? That everything's okay. Sometimes it's just important before we go into a full surrender that we remind ourselves with our hands that it's okay. The nervous system will always constantly look to take you into survival, but it also has the ability to nurture and restore your faith. So find the faith in those hands now. The hands that were able to connect to the heart energy. And now visualize the golden light also coming into the upper belly area underneath the chest and expanding in the belly, the upper belly area above the waistline to the chest. If you have any things that you notice there, any thoughts or feelings, just notice them. And the golden light will also show you anything that you need to understand. So you can ask, is there anything that I need to see or understand in order to love and surrender in love? So finally now, with the hands, you can take the hands to a place back, one place back on the heart, and one place back on the upper belly or the lower belly. So decide which part of your belly your hand would love to touch to complete your connection to yourself. And take some breaths now, connecting the heart to the belly. Feeling what it is that you need to come into complete acceptance of the self. Take some deep breaths, feeling the rest of the body now, and the feet touching the ground, the pelvis on the chair, and if you like, the back parts of the body touching the chair as well. Or remember those hands supporting the back part of the chest. Breathe into the top of the crown. And exhale, take the energy all the way down the body, through the center or through the spine, and into the feet, bringing your awareness back into the space that you're in. Keeping the hands on the body, gently open the eyes, bringing the eyes to a soft gaze. So keeping that softness in the eyes. As you are experiencing the softness, you can keep this sense that the softness is able to be accessed at any time, and also in the softness in the hands. So your hands, by feeling that softness, will help you access softness, surrender, self-nurturing, and even the faith in being vulnerable. Because for some of us, that doesn't seem easy to access, but it does become easier when you feel it in your hands and you feel the softness of your hands coming to nurture the self. Sometimes our hands are perhaps the most important tools in our life. They allow us to do things, they allow us to write, to create, to communicate. And the most important thing that they communicate is touch. So self-touch is a very fast, quick and simple way to bring a sense of acceptance and nurturance. So before you remove the hands from the body, make an agreement with the hands and the body that they can receive this touch at any time that you need that touch, that nurturance or that softness or that acceptance. And know that you will come back to the body with this touch when you want it, when the body wants it and when you want it. And then ever so gently removing the hands from the body, feeling that energy of the hands as they leave the body, so the body still can feel the connection to the hands. So the hands in many ways are very important in terms of giving and receiving the ability to surrender in love. And your loved ones will benefit from any experience that you have in communicating and experiencing surrender to yourself, because only when you do it to yourself can you then share it with someone else, because you know what it feels like. In relationships, we often say, I want my lover to do this to me, I want my lover to do that. But often we need to give it to ourselves when we're saying that. And then somehow we need to find playful ways to share that with our partner. And they can be really simple ways, just even a nurturing, soft touch to begin to allow them to understand that that softness is available to them as well. So thank you for joining I Love Mondays, and see you in the next Monday for more experimentations with nurturance and touch. Thank you, everyone.